Patrick Kane retires right now. I wish Anthony was still here to ask this question. Patrick Kane retires right now. Where does he fit in the greatest Americans of all time?
Top 3 to 5.
Top 3 to 5. Who do you put ahead of him?
I mean, at this point, I still might have to put Chelios ahead of him.
Okay.
If you look at the numbers, he's got 409 goals and 1,101 points in 1,039 games. So he's well over a point per game player. He's got an MVP, and he's got,
I believe, the first
Ross trophy.
Yeah, he's the first American to win the Ross Trophy.
Yeah, first American-born player to win the Art Ross Trophy. First American-born to win the Hart as well, I believe. He's got a Conn Smythe Trophy, 3 Stanley Cups. He's easily a top 5. I could put Brian Leetch ahead of him because Brian Leetch won 2 Norris Trophies, did something that only 4 other defenders have ever done in the history of the league.
100 points in the season.
He was the first American-born to win the Conn Smythe.
He's the only American-born defenseman to win the Conn Smythe.
Yeah, only American-born defenseman to win the Conn Smythe. Chelios never won it. Chelios has 3 Norris trophies, which is just incredible. He has 3 Stanley Cups? Yeah, 3 Stanley Cups because 86 in
Montreal and then 2 with Detroit.
And 2 with Detroit. So he's got 3 Stanley Cups. Mike Modano is still probably the best American-born.
Yeah, that's where I'm going to go with. I'd go with Mike Modano, probably number 1.
Pat LaFontaine is up there for me. I know that he didn't win any individuals, but the rate that he scored at was ridiculous. And if you extrapolate his numbers over a greater period of time, or you take away or you extrapolate it over the games that he missed during his career, he's probably retiring with 600 goals and I would say probably like 1,300 points, maybe even more. So Pat LaFontaine for me is a big one.
Mm-hmm. Second American. By the way, Pat LaFontaine, second American-born player to hit 1,000 points. Who was number 1?
The first American-born? First American-born player. I'm going to have to... Joe Mullen.
Joe Mullen is the first to 500 goals.
I know. Yeah, I knew he was the first to 500 goals. I thought he was the first to 1,000 as well, points. Ooh, that's interesting. This is a name that I'm going to know, and I'm going to kick.
You're going to know it. He coached, I want to say 5 years ago for a team he was famous for.
Brett Hull doesn't fall under this because he's not American-born. It's not Kevin Stevens because he didn't hit 1,000 points.
You ready?
Oh, Phil Housley?
Phil Housley.
Yeah, shit.
Nice, Rick. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Phil Housley. People forget how good of a defenseman that guy was. And man,
he was incredible.
He was incredible. I mean, he was the American Paul Coffey. He didn't play that much defense, but yeah, he was a real solid offensive defenseman. Sabres, Blackhawks, Winnipeg. I always remember him as a Winnipeg Jet, but
I remember him as a Winnipeg Jet and a Sabre. I liked him in his days in Calgary too. He was still pretty good in Calgary. He was like a 60-point guy there, I think, one year, and then he came back and then he was a 50-point guy there like later on in like 2000, which was crazy because he was like 36 by that time.
Philip, what the hell are you pulling out of your ear?
Something on my ear. It feels weird.
Right. Hopefully it's not one of those worms like that were in The Wrath of Khan.
No.
Oh, Khan! All right. But
okay.
I mean, Mike Richter doesn't get enough love for being an American-born player because he was great in the Olympics. He was great internationally. And I mean, he won a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, 300 wins. I get it. The World Cup of Hockey. The problem with Richter is that his peak years were just way too short because of all the injuries and then the bad defenses he had after 97. So,
But,
I mean,
hey, but you know something, somebody else that doesn't get enough respect around that same era, American-born Tom Barrasso.
Tom Barrasso, yeah. Well, Tom Barrasso, if you watch Tom Barrasso was one of the reasons why Pittsburgh lost the Islanders in 93. He was one of the reasons why Pittsburgh lost to Florida in 96.
Mm-hmm.
He was good. He was very good. He won a Vezina as a rookie, I believe, too.
In Buffalo.
In Buffalo, yeah. But Barrasso, he wasn't the best goaltender. He was very good, but he wasn't the best. And I would say that he really, really benefited from playing in front of those stacked 90s Penguins teams, because I don't think he would have had the numbers that he would have had. Kind of just like how Fleury benefited from playing behind Crosby, Malkin, and all those guys. I would say Barrasso was yesterday's
but
Mario and Yager's Fleury.
He also he was also one of the reasons why they got through. It's hard to play on those teams sometimes, because then so much is expected of you that if you don't succeed, the public pressure on you is so much higher. By the way, Ilya checked that out on Brett Hull. He says, you're right. He was born in Canada, but his mother is American. And by the way, I still don't understand that. Brett Hull always wanted to play for Team USA because Team USA took the time out to actually talk to him, invite him into playing. Canada didn't want to look at him or something like that. Who was that idiot? All you have to do is go, that's Bobby Hull's son. He should be on. It's like the people that used to say, "Oh, surprised Stephen Curry is that good." He's Del Curry's
was overlooked
kid.
so badly, Brett Hull. I never understood that, and it's funny because, I mean, Adam Oates went there to St. Louis, and then he just absolutely broke out. And Adam Oates is one of the best playmakers ever, one of the very rare few with 1,000 career assists. But I mean, Brett Hull was a 50-goal guy with Craig Janney centering.
But it's it's that thing. You forget how many good American players there were from yesteryear. Frankie Brimzek, who was known as Mr. Zero in Boston, comes to mind. And there's lots of good American players. It's just they really did not hit their stride until probably after Brian Lawton. I mean, Brian Lawton, who was the first American to go #1 overall, and then Modano after him, and Barrasso. It's just there's a lot of guys, and now this crop is getting incredible. Although, can we please produce another center besides Eichel and McDavid? Sorry, not McDavid, Matthews.
Matthews, yeah.
Misspoke. So,
well, Jack Hughes looks like he could be a really good player. I'm not sure if Jack Hughes is anything more than what like Matt Barzal is. I just don't. That. And you know, you take that if you're Team USA because he's a great skater. He has great hands. He's a very good playmaker. I just don't know if his shot ends up ever being something that consistently beats goaltenders the way that you would need it to do so in order for him to be like an elite scorer. So.
Yeah. And Dave, 100% on this one.
Yeah,
we all wish McDavid was American. Because I mean, think about this. We were talking earlier today about whether or not Brock Nelson's going to be the #2 center for the Americans. On the other hand, Canada is going to roll out Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Matt Barzal. I'm already at a loss for words. Patrice Bergeron, Sidney Crosby. The list is endless. They're gonna have so many centers that play in wing. I mean, we're in the middle of it trying to go, gee, can we move JT Miller to the center again? No, it's not. It's USA needs centers. That's actually how they ended up going far in 2010 because they had Ryan Kessler as a shutdown center and an offensive producer. Chris Drury, who was grinding out on the fourth line. Their first line was Stastny, Kane, and Parise. Parise with that incredible goal to force overtime. And I'm trying to remember who that third line center is on that team.
In 2010.
2010.
So it was.
It's too late for Madonna.
No, Madonna wasn't on that team.
Yeah, that's 2006. Who?
Was it Pavelski?
It could have been Joe Pavelski. I thought he was on a wing, but it could have been.
I'd have to look that up.
Pavelski, who had one of the goals in the Sochi game, the famous TJ Oshie Sochi game. Yeah, Stepan was 2014.
Yeah, he was 2014. He wasn't on the team.
Yeah, there's definitely a guy that we're missing on there.
Stepan was the best forward at the 2010 World Juniors.
Yes.
He was over 2 points per game. He had 15 points in 7 games for USA. And Carlson had the gold medal winner.
Yeah. The golden goal.
Let's see here.
Oshie was too young at that time. It wasn't him. There's a guy that I'm missing. I know that.
Jamie Langenbrunner was on that team.
He was a winger.
So David Backus was on that team. And
he was a center.
So, yeah.
There you go.
And Ryan Kessler was a center as well. Pavelski was also on that team.
Pavelski was on the team. I just didn't know I didn't think he was the center. I thought he was a wing.
I don't know. I don't remember, to be honest with you, if Pavelski was playing center or wing because he's played both for a while.
So, quick question: if there's an injury to a Canadian center, where does Brett Howden fall on the depth chart?
Is there a spot for Waterboy?
If you like that video, we got a lot more. So check out any of these that are right over here. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.